What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. If you don't know who I am, that means you're new. Mark, what's good with y'all? Go check out my other videos. Check them out. But first, say on this one, I think this is going to bring up a real good talking point, especially for those of y'all who unfortunately have to deal with those who are anti-2A. So let's get into it. Another episode of Debunking Anti Gunners, right? Let me make sure, remembering it exactly how I worded it. We just want common sense gun control. No, the fuck you don't. No, you don't. No, you do not. You want total control. Now, let me explain why, and I'm going to even provide examples, all right? So, when you were discussing controlling firearms, you were discussing controlling essentially the entire population. All right, without firearms, the people are at your will. That is the truth of the matter here. Now, with that being said, I'm sure some of y'all are wondering, oh, what are some examples? Okay, Nazi Germany, Cuba. I'm sorry, but, and bro, it's wild because my homeboy's girl is from Cuba. From Cuba, all right? I can tell you right now without a doubt that it's, from what at least I've heard from him, because, he's had to sit there, not had to, but he's asked her about it, right? It's not, it's not exactly no fucking little, it's not fun. It's not fun, all right? Now, with that being said, how did this break down? Oh, another one, North Korea. Oh, wait, what else? China. I can keep going. All right, the list can keep going on and on, all right? As a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, it was Hitler who once said that he would not have been able to control the Jewish population if they were armed. He wouldn't have been able to take them and do everything that he did. So, with all of this being said, all right, what was the one thing that was openly admitted would have prevented this? Firearms, firearm ownership, all right? That would have prevented all of this shit from happening, all right? Or at least it would have shown a good fucking fight before it happened and would have shown that people meant business, all right? So, with that being the case, why would we, a country that was entirely founded on the aspect of limited government, telling the government to fuck off because they're out of line, right? Why would we want to give up our guns when we have seen countless times throughout history that not only has it not helped, it has made the situation exponentially worse? Why we would, even sit there and think about getting rid of our guns or giving them to y'all or even letting, it makes no sense to me, all right? Now, people love to talk about how smart the founding fathers are until they bring up the Second Amendment. And I'm sure some of y'all are wondering where I'm going with this. I want to point this out. All right, here's a perfect example. I believe it was 2008, all right? The First Amendment, the right to freedom of speech, also freedom of religion, press. Not my point. The whole point was the freedom of speech aspect, all right? I believe it was the year 2008 where that was expanded to the internet as well, all right? So they not only, foreseen a law, like, here's one. All right, let me take a breath because it's been a minute since I've done some videos. I'm extremely tired. It's 6 a.m. as well. So, our founding fathers, some of the greatest minds, if not the greatest minds in the nation of our country, sat there when they wrote down these laws. They did not write down these laws thinking of the short term. They wrote down these laws essentially to say this is going to last. No matter what, this will last. And it has, for a good reason. All right? Freedom of speech is self-explanatory. The right to keep and bear arms is self-explanatory as well. But it seems to be that whenever that discussion is brought up and, no infringements, when people bring up what is actually said in the Second Amendment, everybody's saying, oh, well, the founding fathers would have never known about this. They could have never known about that. Did you think that these motherfuckers thought that they could have even imagined the internet? You think they could have imagined the internet in the slightest? I'm not saying free speech shouldn't have expanded to the internet. I'm just saying that they wrote these laws not needing to imagine certain things because they knew that certain variables would come up that people could try to argue against these rights. That's why they wrote them down, is to enshrine them and say, look, these are rights that we already have. All right, you cannot take them. These are explicitly what is enshrined. That was the entire point. That was the entire point of the Constitution. That was the entire point of America even being founded, was all of these rights and beliefs that we had and held. Now, with that being said, another aspect of our country being founded on was revolution. Now, some people are going to sit there, oh, so he's advocating for. Look, what I'm simply advocating for is not letting people take your rights away. All right. That's simply what I am advocating for. All right. I know for a fact that there was a mass gun buyback or, a enforced buyback, however you want to phrase it, or even if they're just going door to door, give up your guns. I know there would be mass noncompliance. I don't have to even question that in my mind. All right. So when people make the argument, we just want common sense gun control, they are talking about limiting your rights to guns. With knowing the history that our country and knowing the history of our country and what it was founded on, if anybody is even advocating for that, it seems just the most un-American thing to me. I don't know. And here's how I'm viewing it. If you are sitting here telling people, oh yeah, well, I don't care if you want to, make sure that you want to protect your family. I don't care that you want to make sure that the government isn't going tyrannical, trying to take over and fucking oppress all the people of this land. I don't care about any of that because of my feelings. I feel that the founding fathers were wrong when they wrote these documents, however long ago, when it pertained to firearms. However, not when it pertained to me being a stupid little bitch and talking about this shit. I thought they were perfectly smart doing that. No, get the fuck out of here. That's the problem that I have with this shit. That's how it eventually boils down to. All right. When you argue against the Second Amendment stating the founding fathers wouldn't have known, or when you make that argument, oh my God, I'm sorry. I get so pissed off thinking about this. You essentially are saying, oh, well, only the rights that I believe are beneficial to me are the ones that, were actually smart. The ones that, say, oh, I can sit here and talk like a stupid little bitch about all the shit you want to. No, get the fuck out of here. All right, this is the problem, is that people don't have the same standards that they hold for, people are very biased. All right, is essentially the point I'm trying to get at. That's a better way to phrase it without having to beat around the bush. Now, with that being said, there is no such thing as common sense gun control. That's the entire aspect of my video. I know it seems like I'm going on, a little rant here. However, that is the entire aspect of the video, is that there is no such thing as common sense gun control. They just want total control. Why? Because let's say, you know what I mean? And we've seen this plenty of times before. We go along with their bullshit. We go along with it. Okay, yeah, sure. We'll let you fucking infringe on our rights for whatever reason we're allowing you to, which I can't believe anybody has actually sat there, and I can't believe a lot of these laws have been passed, honestly. I really can't. I'm sorry. I know I'm sitting here like seeming like I'm getting fucking mad. I am. That's why. I am getting mad. But that's not the point. My whole point is that the fact that people have sat there, put in these votes to pass these laws, knowing that it would infringe on our rights, pisses me the fuck off. And when they sit there and pull this shit, and they're like, yeah, you know what? We'll go ahead and bend a knee to you for whatever reason, probably because you don't have a spine. We'll go ahead and bend the knee to you, but nothing more after this, okay? Then what happens like 6 months later? Some tragedy, something happens, and they're like, see, it wasn't enough. We need more. We need more. I'm sorry, but let's be honest here. It's starting to sound, nah, bro. Everybody knew this from the get-go, all right? You cannot give an inch. If you give an inch, they will take a mile. And with the federal government, that mile is about fucking 30 miles, honestly. So with that being said, I think that, gives the overall gist for the video is there is only such thing as total control. That's what they want. because there's no such thing as common sense gun control. Can anybody explain to me what common sense gun control means? Because here's what I'm saying. We already have background checks into effect. All right. Some states, you have to have a fucking license to own a gun before you can even buy the gun. All right. Now, some states also have red flag laws. There's a lot of shit. Some states, you still need to get a concealed carry permit to conceal carry. I'm sorry, but it sounds like there's a lot of gun control already in effect here. And if nothing's going to fucking sit here and change the shit that's happened, why are we adding more? You see what I mean? It's not because they want common sense gun control. They want total control. That is what they want. And honestly, those who sit there and think this will only, yeah, we'll give them this inch, it'll only lead to this inch, have to be insanely gullible when you really think about it, because they know something else is going to happen. Common sense says this will not stop 100% of, we'll take mass shootings as an example. This will not stop 100% of mass shootings, right? So why are we even, my question is, why would you sit there and infringe on somebody's rights? Honestly, even to keep people safe isn't a good enough reason, in my opinion. Because I'll be honest with you, people die. Shit happens. There is evil in this world, and it sucks. It's horrible that there is evil, and I feel for the the families of the victims who have lost. I feel it. I feel y'all, and I'm sorry. However, I still don't think that your family's death, or however you want to phrase it, your friend's death, whatever, that doesn't mean my rights aren't still there. That has nothing to do with it. I had nothing to do with this. You know what I mean? So the aspect is total control. It's not, common sense gun control, because they don't have an actual definition of common sense gun control, because the majority of the things they claim they want are already in effect. All right. One of the biggest things that they talk about that they want is fucking background checks. We already have background checks, guys. All right. The only way you are not getting a background check done on you, and this is in a majority of states, granted, however, it is through a private sale. And I'm sorry, shame on me for not wanting to sit here and, let's say I call a friend up. Hey, I'm selling this gun. Would you by chance want it? Yeah, sure. I'll take it. How much? $500. Yeah, sure. Bring it over. Go and bring it over. I'd rather not have to sit there, pick up my friend, then go, I don't even fucking know. Probably I'd have to sit there and call the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, figure out a way for there to be a background check done at that point. Firearm background check, because they do have different levels of background check at the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. Then, after paying for that, waiting for that to all be done, then I would be able to do that. Bro, I don't have time for all that. The truth of the matter is I really don't. And it's not anybody else's business that I'm selling a gun to a friend. That's the truth of the matter here. They don't want to control certain aspects. They want to control every aspect. They want to control everything. Common sense can tell you there's no such thing as common sense gun control. That's the whole point of the video here, guys. I think that about wraps it up. I don't want to sit here and sound repetitive, start going in circles. But y'all make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, hit that bell. When you hit that bell, hit all. And because you agree with me, they don't want common sense gun control, because common sense gun control is not a thing. They just want total control. Go ahead and make sure to check out all my other videos. Y'all make sure to stay legal, stay safe, stay dangerous. Have a good one, y'all. Peace.